Hello, welcome to my show. Hosted by Unique Voices in Films and The Path of Consciousness. I'm your host, Weam Namou, and we're back for our second segment with Michael Bishara. And that is because we did not have the videos. There's two videos that I think is very important to share with people so that they can see the result of working with somebody that I think PR is misunderstood. It almost seems like marketing, and that you just go out there, plug yourself in here and there, just sound bites, and then something is going to happen from that. But I think between the two interviews, they will see the growth. You can almost see the growth happening. And we'll talk about the screening.
But that's also to your credit.
Oh, thank you.
know,
Thank you.
It is.
Thank you. But I'm going to show the WDIV interview first, which you spoke a little bit before. But if you can introduce that before I play it, and then we'll talk about how you encouraged regarding the screening, and then we'll go to the next interview. But with WDIV, you said that. Can you repeat what you were saying about the connections that you had there?
I had a friend who I've worked with before, and whose brother was a really good friend of mine, but has since passed away. But Greg Russell, and I have stayed in touch. He's done stories with me for other clients and the like. But I also knew of his love and respect for film and storytelling. So I thought, Greg is perfect to screen and talk about and interview Weam regarding Pomegranate.
Okay.
And I sent him the news release that I had written, the background, your background, as well as the link where he watched the entire film.
Well, I'm going to play it, but I got to tell you, before he talked about my film, he was talking about Tyler Perry and other major films. And I was like in cloud nine, I thought, because I love Tyler Perry. And for years, I've been following his journey. So I thought, oh my goodness, just that feeling in itself.
The other thing I love about Greg, he's an absolute astronomical Beatles fan.
Oh, is he?
And there are very few people in this world who love the Beatles more than I do, but he is at least there.
And after the interview, this is the thing, you have creating relationships. He shared with me how he felt about the film and how important it was. And then he said, we should have these types of dialogues, like similarly to what was happening within the film, but to have it on a wider scale.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh my God, this is a great idea. But it creates ideas. We're able to open up in certain ways that maybe without that interview that couldn't have happened. So I'll share this interview right now.
Well, we know that you'd love to, one of your goals, I should say, is to highlight Michigan filmmakers.
Yes.
So tell us about the movie Pomegranate.
Yes, this was made by a local filmmaker. I just have to look down because I definitely want to make sure I pronounce the name correctly. Weam Namou.
Okay.
And she's Middle Eastern, or from Middle Eastern descent, and she wanted to do this film about families living together. And it's all about the parents in this family are from the old country, so they've got, there's certain things that they have. The kids are from here, so they want to do everything Americanized.
Okay.
And it all takes place during an election year.
Whoa.
And just all the things that are going on in the family. Got to talk to her about it. Here we go.
If you had to describe this movie, how would you describe it, and what would you say to people about it?
It's an authentic film about unity, diversity, powerful women and powerful neighborhood who are able to speak their mind and still love each other.
Interesting movie. I think you said it's got deep subject. Also, it does have humor, so people can have some things to laugh about. So it's one of those it'll pull you in, by so many different ways, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up about the humor. So again, like Scott Rosenfeld, when he read the script and he said what really he was drawn in just from the story, the description of the story, but he said the humor, he's like, this is when you realize that every family is the same. You forget about the people's background and you get so caught up into the humanness of them. And since then, the film has won over 40 international awards. And that is a testament on, again, how we can change our views through narratives, through stories, but we got to do the right stories. We can't just be We can't do the same thing, expect different results. And I wanted the women to lead this movie, these characters, because another topic that I feel like it's almost like taboo or we don't address is women issues in our communities. We don't talk about them. We pretend they don't exist. And I got to tell you, Pomegranate, it does not shy away from all the things that we're not supposed to talk about.
Love a movie.
There
I'm
you go.
intrigued.
Yeah, check it out. Just go online. You can find out all the places it's showing where you can get it from. But really, really good movie, Weam. All right, way to go.
Right. You give this one 4
for sure.
4 reels.
I mean, not only is it a good movie, but also, hey, like you said, a good one made here locally.
We love that.
So,
Greg, where can people check out your interviews with other Hollywood stars?
Oh, yes, just go to movieshowplus.com. We've got them all right there.
That was a good memory.
It was very nice, to say the least.
Yeah, thank you for that, Michael.
It's my pleasure.
I know a lot of it is, the power of the film in itself. However, I do feel when you work as a team, something happens. I think part of its success, aside from the story, I found that when you work as a team, something magical happens. When you work with the intention of elevating everybody, the success of the project or whatever you're working on quadruples.
I agree.
Yeah, so I'm so grateful for having a wonderful team. Now, that interview was great, and then I went back, I'm always writing. And by the way, you had there was Metro Times,
WDET.
Yes. Gina
Davis.
not
and
Gina
Davis. The Macomb Daily.
Gina Joseph, yes, Macomb Daily.
Macomb Daily.
Yes.
And there were others.
Yes, there was others, and there was others that picked up from these,
Yes. Yeah.
But then, I went back. I love writing. This is where my heart is, like, writing, and I have, of course, other responsibilities and stuff in my life. And then I remember you calling me and suggesting.
I don't want to do this anymore.
No.
I don't. No, I'm being facetious, people. I don't want to do this anymore. I think I'm paraphrasing.
We maxed it out.
I think we've tapped out. I said, no, you haven't.
I wanted to jump ship.
No, you didn't want to jump ship. But what, if I remember, and please correct me, what I remember you saying or asking about was focusing on national media.
Yes.
And I strongly felt that although your body of work and Pomegranate deserves a national and has earned a national spotlight, that you can't ever, whether it's politics or media or whatever, you can't forget your base. And a lot of the responses I got from folks who even chose to, at that time, temporarily pass on developing a story were still very impressed with and almost proud of the fact that Pomegranate took place in Greater Detroit.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I love community, and I am about community. And sometimes, and that's, I feel like you help keep me grounded by kind of bringing my attention, like, look here, not looking outside for
at
answers.
least look at both,
At least, yeah.
And that's, I think maybe that's a good point at which we can talk about my urging you to begin establishing, developing, hosting screenings.
Well, that was the next thing. So instead of, so here I am thinking, okay, I think we did everything. And then you're like, well, and then you brought in another idea, which was, you said, why don't you, which, by the way, I had thought of that idea, but then I was
you told me you had.
I had thought of that idea, but then I was kind of, I think I, at some point, even changed my mind. And you said, it is very important. I said, to have a screening. And I said, do you think so? Do you think it may? And you really encouraged me. So why did you do that?
In order to deepen your ties with within Southeast Michigan, the state of Michigan, because we haven't done interlocking yet, but throughout the state of Michigan, I just wanted to grow the awareness of the film, but also your entire body of work. But also, more strategically, what that does when I pitch media, particularly national media, I include in my pitch links to stories we had already done to give them, to get folks at Variety, as an example, more familiar with you, your camera presence, in this case, the movie, etc. And so it's important to continuing to build that base.
That's a lot of strategy. You're strategizing things that, when you're saying it, makes sense, but if you're out there, if you're a politician, a writer, filmmaker, whatever position you're in, you're consumed by what you're doing and wanting to do a good job at that. You, on the other hand, you are strategizing something that might be, when we're consumed with our work, seems like we're stuck in that work and not being able to see the bigger picture. And after the fact, when we talked after the screening, and especially after the second interview that you got from me, I said, Michael, thank you so much for pushing me towards in that direction. I mean, first of all, it was a wonderful experience. I had people that I really wanted them to attend, including my the crew that were from Michigan. They were very happy about being a part of the audience. A lot of family members. I had family members that said, we don't want to watch it on TV. I had nephews that he said, Auntie, I'm sorry. He wanted to come. Our premiere was in LA and he couldn't. He wanted to come and we said, well, it's only us ladies going. You're kind of not invited. And then he promised that he was going to watch it, because I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to have a screening at home. And then when I set up the screening, he said, I just want to let you know I never did watch the movie. I wanted to watch it on a screen. It was so special for them to experience that. But what was really special was connecting with Fox 2, with, like, as you mentioned. So if you can share that again before I play it, where you said that you put that out there. And
I have worked for years now, when I had Hazel Park as a client, when I was at the city of Dearborn, and other opportunities with Fox 2's Amy Lang. And maybe to some people, Pomegranate might be seen as a chick flick. I didn't think it was, per se. To me, it meant something more. But I thought, maybe this would be a cool chick flick for someone like Amy to see, and for me to discuss it with. And she loved the information I sent her. And she said, Michael, I've got the two perfect people I'm going to send it to. And she told me who, and then I recognized one of the two producers whom she told me as being likely Chaldean. So I thought, oh, geez, this is great, And so then I sent it to them, and they were thrilled.
And we were so excited to connect. We had met a long time. Like,
you had mentioned there's a family connection.
Yeah, but we had met years ago, and we didn't continue. And then this opportunity brought us back together, to where we were then discussing, like, hey, maybe we can do some segments on the Middle East. I mean, we were like in
awesome.
It really was wonderful. And I was going to mention something. I want to mention something that was helpful as well. Because the film in some cases had some controversy in certain communities, and I also appreciated where I felt safe that I can share that with you. And I thought that your feedback was so helpful. You kind of just looked at it as what it is, and then you said, well, but controversy is good in film. This is what gets us to talk. And I just like the going back and forth. It wasn't really this type of thing, having from somebody in the industry who understands. It's not that you're understanding the film industry, you're understanding the audience in general, how people respond. And you've probably been through it all, like, that person is going to look at it this way, that person. And just for you to stay centered in the midst of what I was sharing was very important for me.
I'm
I want to
glad.
say yes,
I'm
that
glad.
was very important. I'm going to share the Fox 2 news. This is one of my favorites as well because it was the last one. It really was. She was very generous.
I
With
think
her
if I
time.
remember, this was like December 5th or something.
Was it like that?
The,
It was
the,
right.
four, the 4th or the 5th.
Yes, because it was right before.
It was
the
right
screening.
before the screening.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yep. And they were very generous with
Yeah.
their time. Yes.
And time to talk about a groundbreaking film shining light on a spotlight right here. Iraqi American life, right here in Metro Detroit. The movie is called Pomegranate, and it is the first Iraqi American narrative feature that explores the tensions shared between humanity with Muslims and Iraqi Christians during the 2016 election. Now, today, we're joined by the filmmaker, Weam Namou, to talk about the story, the mission, and the impact. First of all, Weam, congratulations, because this film has certainly earned more than 40 international film awards. That's incredible.
More than 50 now.
Wow.
It keeps
Saved
adding
by
up.
the minute. Talk to me about this.
Well, it's funny because it took a while to make. It's an independent film, and I had an incredible team that helped make it happen. But it took a while, and it was released at a time where it seems like this is just a hot topic right now. It's an important topic. So aside from the quality of the film and the amazing people that worked on it, including Scott Rosenfeld, the producer of Home Alone, Kevin Hewitt, Jamal Adams, we have so many locals that were very talented and worked on it. But I think it's also the topic that's very important right now. That's what's happening with the Muslim community in Dearborn, even though this was shot in Sterling Heights. But I mean, honestly, we're all of the same backgrounds, the regions. And so I think it's also because it's a hot topic that's and it's women-led. So it's not only addressing the Middle Eastern aspect of the film and the topics, but also women topics, which I really support and feel that they need to be heard.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that, because as the first Iraqi American narrative feature film, what responsibility did you feel in portraying our community authentically?
I've been feeling this responsibility ever since I wrote my first book. In the 1990s, I was at Heathrow Airport in a transit in an airport, and I found all these books that were written by Western authors about Middle Eastern women, and it was all surrounded about abuse, about them being not only veiled, but also being either running away from a husband or a brother or something of abuse. And I thought, we're not all in that category. We have other issues to deal with. And I came home during that time. I had already started writing, but I decided that I was going to write authentic, true life stories of that region, because I feel like at that time they were hardly there, and still today they're very underrepresented.
And, you know, talking more about this film, there's a big screening happening this weekend. But before we talk about that, here's a little preview of this incredible journey. Take a look. Now, we're taking a look at this is called Pomegranate. So obviously a lot of representation here. What would you say is the biggest part of the film that you think resonates most with viewers and most within the Chaldean community or the Muslim community?
Well, I think what really sticks out is that I bring in the dialogue topics that people shy away from. We are placed into these restrictive ways of speaking about what really people of Middle Easterners think, what the women feel. We keep these topics in our bedrooms, and we need to share them so that we are not all placed into stereotypes. And what I love about this movie, and this happened with God's grace, it wasn't planned, but the Muslim family is played by Muslims, and the Chaldean family is played by real Chaldeans. And that all happened with God's grace. And I think it just showcases, they all felt like it resonated with them. And that's proof that we all feel like we're not heard. Both parties feel that way. And what happens is a lot of the loud voices, unfortunately, the political people that are heading, or the religious people that are heading the communities, get to be heard, but not the everyday people.
And actually, our director has rolled out a little clip of the film now with audio, so let's take a listen.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about removing your hijab?
But you really have to pick Sterling Heights? Everybody here is Iraqi Christian.
Oh, because I knew you'd embarrass us with all this feminist talk, huh?
Now that's a short clip. Of course, we want to leave room for people to actually see this. As a Chaldean American myself, this film is incredible. You've brought Hollywood, you've brought Chaldeans, you've brought Iraqis, Christians, Muslims, all these people together to do all this incredible work. Talk to me about the screening this weekend. How can people go see this?
Well, the screening is, so we had the premiere in LA earlier in the year when the film was released, which is, although it's available in 25 countries and different platforms, it's streaming in different platforms. But what's so special about this Sunday is we are having a screening at Imagine Theater. And that happened because so many of the locals said, hey, we want to see this in a theater setting. So we're going to be having photographs there. We're going to have the cast and crew. Some of the cast and crew are going to be there for a Q&A after. It's very special, and it's really the beginning. Although this is my second feature film, but it's the first Iraqi American feature narrative. But I'm going to continue making films, and I would love for our community and people, whether Chaldean or not, we're all Michiganders, that this story is important for all of us, and we need to have dialogues about this. So I welcome people who want to have dialogues and to help bring more awareness to such stories to come and be a part of this. It's going to be at 3 o'clock on Sunday, December 7th at the Imagine Theater in Royal Oak.
Awesome. And of course, we'll put all this information on our website at fox2detroit.com. We'll make it easy for anyone to find that and get the tickets. Good to have you on the show. Congratulations on all your books, your movies, and I can't wait to see what else you do.
Thank you so much, Rania. And by the way, there's a lot of humor in this film, so it's not as serious as it looks in the trailer.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I'm telling you. I've heard some really good things about this.
Thank you.
Incredible. Good job.
Thank you.
Great.
Oh, Michael, thank you so much for everything. It's been
That was fun. That was a pleasure.
I normally don't like to watch my interviews, so this is the first time I've actually sat through both of them. I want to thank you for working with me and for advising me. And if you want to share one more time how people can get a hold of you.
The name of my company is Bishara Public Relations. I can be found at bisharapr.com. My phone number is 313-289-5901, and I'm also on LinkedIn.
Thank you. This was very nice.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, everyone, for watching, and have a wonderful day.